Episode 95. Can you believe we're nearing 100? Crazy, isn't it? This week is all about replacing our Passport 42's standing rigging. In case you don't know what that is, it's all of the stainless steel wire cables that hold up our mast and is a very important part of a sailboat. Here you can see our rig layout. I drew this diagram in episode 89 where we found a crack in a deck level fitting.
Yeah, you see
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
You
I see it there, yeah. Have you got backslip spinners or?
No, they're in line.
Okay, so then you're off.
Yeah.
If you lose this, you lose the rig.
This prompted making an appointment with the local professional rigger who suggested he do a thorough rig inspection. While the aluminum mast and the fittings on it were thankfully in good shape, he found too many questionable areas on the wire cables themselves and the fittings that were on the ends of them. Last week, we finally felt some wind in our hair on a dinghy ride and scrubbed down Boundless, admiring her beauty once more, and realizing how bright and welcoming the cockpit is with the canvas covers removed and everything sparkling clean.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see this with natural light in it. Look at our boat home. You can actually see in here, it's not like a cave. I didn't even realize how much of like a cave it was. Oh my gosh.
And even down below, how it's so much brighter.
Coming through the hatch.
And here.
And there, yeah.
So.
Yeah. Wait, I want to show you guys. Check this out. Look at how badass our Dodger looks and everything. Look at that. That looks like a go places boat.
We cannot wait to go sailing, but this rigging replacement stands between us and the open ocean. So now, the moment has finally arrived. Our rigging has been delivered, and now if we could only figure out what's going on with our camera batteries dying one after another, that would be great. One of them swelled up and got stuck in the camera the other day and broke apart trying to get it out. Thankfully, it didn't melt and threaten to cause a fire. To their credit, they have powered our GoPro for the past few years, capturing our journey above and below the water.
All right, so I'm on the starboard deck here. Here we have the rigging. This is all of the rigging for the starboard side of the boat that holds up this side of the mast. You also have the ones in the front, like at the pointy ends of the boat. Those are called the forestays at the front, and then the backstay at the back. Here we have a series of cables. There's 5 of them on each side holding up the mast, and they do various things. The first thing in the process of re-rigging Boundless is making sure that all these turnbuckles run freely when you try to turn them, because we have to loosen all of them to then take out these pins and start changing the rigging out. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start clipping the seizing wire that holds these things from turning off, and then I'm going to put a little bit of WD-40 on all the threads, and then just make sure with a couple of crescent wrenches that these turnbuckles can turn freely, just in preparation. I'm not actually going to loosen anything right now, because what we're going to do is we're going to measure the pounds per square inch. We're going to measure the tension on all of them and mark them down, so that way once we put the new rigging back up, we should be able to then tighten everything back up to those tension measurements and be able to bring the mast back into how it is tuned right now. So here we are with Steve. He's our next door neighbor here. And
Don't show my boat, it's dirty. I built my own boat, so I've been doing this for the last 20 years.
And you enjoy it.
I love it. I really do.
Yeah, problem solving.
I love problem solving. I'm a MacGyver.
Yeah.
That's my claim to fame.
Okay.
I'm a local MacGyver. Just checking tension.
Making references down here on a piece of paper.
Yeah, making sure we know what to bring the new cables up to, or at least some reference to what was there before. I think they're a bit lower than you could beef them up slightly if you really wanted to. Are you deck stepped or keel?
Keel.
Keel stepped. You could beef them up for sure.
Yeah. You like beef up the tension.
The tension,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
You're a tad on the low side, I would think. And it's better to be a little bit tighter because if there's any slackness, then there's movement.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have stainless steel moving, it work hardens and eventually fractures.
Ah, okay.
You don't want that.
No. All right.
You
Well,
want to keep it nice and rigid.
well, we have our new rigging from Sailing Services. Thank you for
No worries, man.
arranging all that. And right.
Give your rigging some Viagra.
Yeah.
Make it stiffer.
Yeah.
Trouble is when you get older, you get stiff in all the wrong places.
Yeah.
Ankles and knees and everywhere else. And the part you want to get stiff doesn't get stiff.
I guess the next step would be slacking off the entire rig.
Correct. I would do the lowers first. Slacken them all off a little bit. Because if you slacken one off completely and the others tight, then the whole thing starts bending.
Right.
Pulls too much.
Okay.
So you want to have the thing fairly stable.
Okay.
One side, one side,
Okay.
one side. Get them to a point where they almost sort of hand tighten on the turnbuckle.
Right.
you know.
Okay.
And then if we can take one off
Right.
and do one at a time,
Okay.
bring it back to hand tension, do the other side.
Okay.
What you might have a problem with, which is common, is that when you take the stay lock off, it's sometimes very difficult to get that cone out because you want to reuse the stay lock nut. Okay? You might have to cut the cable
Okay.
to get the stay lock nut off. So the cable goes up to that point over there.
Oh, to right. Okay,
Right up to here,
there.
yeah.
Okay.
So what you can do is when you lay the old one will look like this with this all tight, right?
Right.
The new one will go over here next to it, and you can take that mark it on the cable, and just chop it right there.
Okay, so
And you know the length.
So that's the length.
That's the length of the cable there.
Right,
yeah.
cool.
If you're happy with this in the turnbuckle,
Right.
sometimes this is already bottomed out,
Okay.
or it's too far out. Then you want to make an adjustment, but you don't have that issue, do you?
No.
Yeah. So if your stud is pretty much in the middle of the turnbuckle under tension, and you've got space either side, then you don't need to make any adjustment.
Yeah.
Sometimes I come across a cable where this is bottomed out in
Right.
the middle of the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Then you need to make them a bit shorter to allow, or longer, whichever way.
Here, let me give you some slack.
Okay.
Okay, you should have it. Oh, it's on a clutch. Go ahead.
There we go.
You should be able to pull.
There you go.
Okay, let's see if this works. We don't want to be right up at the top there.
We have our climbing.
We have
You actually want to catch it over here somewhere.
Right. Yes, I
Because you need this free to actually push it in, put the pin in. Especially on the top, you need the halyard to actually carry the weight of the cable. Otherwise, you're holding the whole thing, trying to get the pin in. She is so loyal and she's got to be around me all the time.
Yeah. I've noticed, like, anytime you're working on the boat, she's just right here.
Yeah, she wants to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Katie. Hi, sweetie. We have Katie 1 and Katie 2. Katie dos. You're Katie 1.
No, she's Katie.
She's Katie 1, okay.
She was here first in the marina.
We're starting with these two here. These are called the lowers. They are the 4 cables, 2 on each side, that go right underneath the first spreader. So those are the kind of the easiest to do. They're the lowest on the mast. So we've slacked everything off, and everything is nice and loose. Eat your Wheaties.
Warm up.
All right, vice grips. Got the extra halyard. Oh, this halyard should actually come.
Are you ready?
I am ready. I'm recording.
Give Katie a Wheaties.
I did give her. Yeah. All right, I'd say that's pretty good.
Right there?
Yeah.
This is now a great time for you to renegotiate the terms of your arrangement with him. Would you like to come down gently, or would you like to come down fast,
Right.
or would you like to stay there?
Ask him a question, choose wisely.
Yeah. If you can't do anything,
All right. Here we go. All right, you got the weight.
okay. I'll lower it down. Can you walk it down on the dock? And that end that you've got there is there.
Okay. Oh, it's cloud.
The clevis pins were very rusty, and so we are replacing them all in this process.
Yep.
Although there is surface rust on the fittings on the mast, called tangs, neither Steve or I found any evidence of cracking or rust that shows pitting or material loss.
Yeah, these tangs, I mean this tang anyway, looks good.
There's no cracks on by the hole.
I don't see any cracks.
There will be a point in the future where we remove the mast from Boundless and lay it horizontally on the ground to do a refit to it. At that point, we will remove all the tangs and inspect them and the bolts more closely, replacing them if needed.
A little bit of scratching from people doing stuff, but
Now you have to say you love your lady long time. Come down at a reasonable pace.
you hear me?
Yeah.
Or did you hear him?
Yeah. What was that magic word?
Pretty please.
And?
I love you long time.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Alright, are you ready?
The magic
The magic phrase.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, well, all right.
Do you mind if I give you a little bit of advice?
Yeah.
Seeing as I'm the person that's up there,
Yeah.
it always is much nicer to come down like, you know,
Okay.
easy. Okay, maybe you want one more wrap on there.
Right.
But if you do this bit by bit, it's quite sore in the back.
Got it.
So like I did to you the whole time.
Dang.
Yeah.
Really? I'm getting shorter and shorter. I'm already so f***ing short. I used to be 6'6", you know.
Okay, so we have the port side lowers. This is the forward, this is the aft. We are reusing the stay lock fittings here. There's a sacrificial cone inside that you need to replace. So when we ordered the rigging, we ordered a bunch of cones. And so the hardest part of this entire project could be getting these old ones apart. So fingers crossed that they come apart and that the sealant in here plays nice and everything. So we'll see. Oh, nice, it turned. That's good.
Don't jinx it.
Loop out there, form is still in there. Now if this thing turns without the cable turning, which I don't think it's doing, I think the cable's turning, it breaks the bond sometimes. There we go. It did.
Oh,
Yay!
There.
Winner.
My little trick.
We assembled all 4 of the lowers on the ground, and then I went back up the mast to install them. Each one was hoisted on a halyard. I would put the new pin into place and then release the halyard to Katie. Steve would then thread the bottom of the new shroud into the turnbuckle. We had the rigging shop hydraulically press on the upper eye fittings, and then we added a couple feet onto the length of the wire. That way we could mark the length of the old shrouds on the new cables as Steve mentioned earlier, and then cut the lengths. Staylock fittings are very strong and easy to assemble if you're careful. They also are more resistant to corrosion and rust because they are serviceable. Hydraulically pressed fittings on the bottom of shrouds are upside down and therefore can hold water and promote corrosion, and they are not serviceable.
All right. Well, we have Wanker and Jeunet over here. Wanker, we have Wanker and over here.
He's a wanker. Are they the same name?
Yes, they are. Okay, so we have the 4 lowers done. They are in completely. And we just took off what are called the check stay. So down here at the deck, we have the turnbuckle sitting here. And I just went up 2/3 of the way up to the just underneath the second set of spreaders, and I took off what are called, like I said, the check stays. Have you heard them called anything else? They're usually called running back stays, but these are fixed, so they're not running. And so now we're just laying them out on the dock next to the new wire and gonna go through the process. Maybe we should film this one. All right, good?
Yeah.
All right.
Mother sugar.
Yeah.
There we go.
You gotta call it a few names.
You have to use choice words, otherwise it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Call it.
Let me.
That works.
When you're reusing these things,
And that,
well, we've never done it. I've never done this before, but what we're doing is I'm using a stainless brush, and I'm cleaning the threads up here because there's old Loctite on here. And then afterwards, I'll show you what I do. I've been taking this small rag because I get water in here, and I actually pass this through here to dry it out before we assemble it. A little obsessive, as we are on this channel. So this is the nut we're reusing. This one's pretty clean, but some of them had some shit in them. And you know, you just try to get it out as best you can, but you see how the threads are pretty much clear. There's a cone that you push down in here around the core here, and then you have to spread the strands back around the cone and then push the nut up against it. Just putting Loctite in the threads, and what this does is...
Am I?
Oh no, it's probably not open. There you go. So he's putting Loctite in the threads, and what that does is that acts more as a lubricant than a Loctite to keep the things from coming back apart.
It stops galling.
It stops, yeah, what's called galling. And you just gently turn it, and you want to make sure you don't feel anything catching. You'll hear some clicking and stuff, but you don't want to hear, or you don't want to feel anything jamming. And you tighten it, and then what you do is you actually back it off, and then you can check to see how it has formed around the cone, and that right there is what you want to see.
let me focus.
That's beautiful.
Nice.
And what you want to see is that the cone has a slot in it, and you don't want one of those strands to have gotten jammed down in the slot in that cone.
It's so sexy.
Yeah. You know, a little bit more on here. And then what you do is you tighten it down. So one of the big controversial things we're doing with this rigging is we've chosen to not use sealant in... Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no.
No!
We've chosen to not use sealant in the stay lock fittings.
Rig will fail. Oh god, no!
Usually, you see people putting sealant inside these, and then it gushes out and it seals water from getting down into the stay lock fitting, into that formed set of wire strands that you just saw. And the weird thing is Staylock, the brand that makes these fittings, doesn't recommend to use sealant. So against other people's opinions, we're not using sealant. I think all of us agree that allowing water to run through, flushing these with fresh water, and maybe flooding them with WD-40. I think that'll be good enough. And then when you take things apart to inspect them, maybe periodically a couple times through the rigging's life, then you don't have goop to contend with. So that's the
There you go.
The reasoning behind
that's
it.
the reasoning behind it, yes. Okay, I'm back up here. These are the check stays that I was telling you guys about, and so they have hoisted up on the spinnaker halyard, the port side here, and so it's nice to use a halyard to hold these in place. And then I have the new pins here. Pin in.
I can let go the halyard?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and then I reach into my bag here and fish out a clevis pin, or a split pin, one of these guys.
I noticed.
Yeah.
I'm using a vice grip to hold on to the pin, and then I use a screwdriver to split the pin apart initially.
Bring the halyard down.
Okay. So I'm sending the halyard down. And they're gonna send me up the next one. And I finish bending this split pin around. And then I can turn the head of the pin, the clevis pin, as I need. That looks good. Pin is secured. And that's how you do it.
Okay, the other one's coming up.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Just like that. Take another pin. Push it through.
Pin in.
Pin in.
You done there?
Almost. There we go. All right, we're golden. It's like repelling.
Yeah.
Touchdown. All right.
All right, break time.
Hey. All right, team.
Catch you later.
Oh man, I'm filming right now. So we have 6 done. I obviously don't have 6 fingers, but we have 6 done. We are very tired. We're all taking a lunch break.
Steve's taking a nap.
Steve's taking a nap, and we're gonna go and get some food. We got a lot done. Found it. Katie by far has the hardest job, which is taking me up the mast. So we might employ the help of Jeanne or Steve for the
Steve's
last
doing a
couple.
lot, too.
Steve's doing a lot too, though. Yeah, he's.
That's why I don't mind doing that as long as, because I get big breaks in between. So
You do get big breaks in
I
between,
just
yeah.
need to stay hydrated.
Yeah. So, all right.
Let's go eat.
See you after lunch. All right, beam me up, Scotty.
Okay.
Warp speed, Mr. Sulu.
Look at that shiny new cable. Nice breeze up here. Much cooler. Looks like there's some clouds coming up. It'll get rained on. Actually, it feels nice though. So here's our before lunch work. Nice new stuff on both sides. Why'd you stop? You just have to fart once and then he starts.
Got it.
Buggers, these two are giving us a hard time, man. Come on. Oh, come on.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes. Yes. Last one.
Get your grinder.
All right. All right, everyone. I just put on the last two for today. So these are the cap shrouds, port and starboard. The other one is right here, and it's a bit wobbly up here with no cap shrouds. We have two halyards, two masthead halyards that were acting as cap shrouds, and so it was kind of a little bit nerve-wracking. And we have some clouds, some slightly menacing clouds on the horizon, and but I am finally done, and it was an amazing day. Steve and Jeanne are such nice people, such nice guys, and I am so happy with how this is coming out, and I think Katie is too. So here we are. Still don't know how high this mast is off the deck. I have to bring my 100-foot rule up. I'll do that when we do the forestays, I suppose. Anyway, for now, I'm gonna head down, and we are all going to rest. And this is what the workbench looks like after a day of rigging.
So we just coiled up all of the shrouds from yesterday, and we're gonna go take it to an area up at the marina here where they get recycled. So they take them actually to, I think, a local charity, and they scrap them and use that money. So that's cool. So we'll take it up there, but in the meantime, we were looking at, really I was looking at these, and one thing I didn't get to see yet was how it actually, where was the one we were just looking at?
Yeah.
Right here.
There's a bunch of spots like this, probably like 20 or 30 of them.
Where it's actually like rusting from, rusting from the inside.
Yeah, so you can kind of see, well, here, I'll show you. So this here, you can see this is very much surface rust. Something like this. And, you know,
Like
something like all of this. This is just normal surface rust. But the thing that Steve saw on the inspection when he went up the mast is places like this. You can see that there's rust coming from deep inside the wire between the strands. This isn't something that is just on the surface of these outer strands here. Like here's one right here. And it happens every couple of feet on pretty much every shroud. Yeah. So that's kind of what prompted to do this. Steve called it Roman candling, where you have like a pair of strands that spiral up each wire, and every couple of feet those specific strands have something that is going wrong with them. And although we didn't find any broken strands,
That was like the next step.
that was like the next step, is basically then you would start finding some sort of a broken strand or something. So this is definitely more like proactive, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think? More proactive, but also, you know, there's a lot of peace of mind with knowing that all of this, there's a lot of peace of mind knowing that all of this is now new up there.
Let's go.
Yeah. Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. We want to take a moment to thank all of our viewers, all of you out there watching week after week. It means the world to Katie and I. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. It really makes a difference getting our channel out across the YouTube platform. Subscribing is the easiest way to support our channel, and it is totally free. And leave a comment, because that interaction really helps spread our channel across YouTube. But if you want to take it a step further, then you can head over to patreon.com/sailing Seawind. If you really love our videos, you can go there to become a member. Our patron members get ad-free early viewing of every week's episode. And actually, they are a week ahead, so this video you're seeing right now has been live on Patreon for our members for the last week. Shout out to all of you out there. This community is really what helps keep this channel alive. Up next, we tackle the biggest part of this rigging change out yet, the backstay and the two huge forestays, including trying to figure out how to disassemble and then reassemble both of the furling units for the head sails. It's going to be a good one, so you won't want to miss it. Thanks.